after being a politician, I realized the gaps in society. So I just decided that my farm is going to be an organic farm in the region. In Europe, and if you go to America, people go to these organic farms to learn, to get medicinal treatments, and all the products are there on the ground. We, are, we have just seen that we are able to grow cocoa. I'm producing cocoa berries in 2 years. In Nigeria, after 10 years when you get the first cocoa. But here we have shown that cocoa in 2 years, we can start producing cocoa in Siaya. Coffee is bearing after 2 years, 1.5 years in central Kenya because they have cold weathers. And here we have temperatures 23 to 29 degrees January to January. We don't have when plants go into domination like in Europe. We have olives. Who said that olives, it is thriving, the olive tree. You have seen on the farm. An olive tree is the most expensive oil in the world. If it can grow in Siaya, that is where we should be looking at the best crop, where we get the best value in our land. And I will repeat, and as always repeated, maize and sugarcane are poverty crops. You better plant a crop and even buy those things. The colonialists are the ones that brought maize in the 50s. The reason they brought maize is these carbohydrates. You take it, it fills your stomach. Then it starts pumping sucrose, sugar into your bloodstream. Then you feel you have a lot of energy and you want to work hard. So then, even in a place like Uganda, they'll tell you, they don't eat maize because they know that this maize is the one that is making the Africans get diabetic and diabetes in our systems. So we must learn and eat the foods that help us, our traditional foods. Cassava is a very, very, very important crop that we should be growing in mass. Because today, if you go to Thailand, cassava is the one that is being the biggest export because the starch from cassava is being used for beverages, for medicine, for pharmaceuticals, for all the industry. One of the tree seedlings that I'm bringing now from India is called the Indian saddlewood. I want people to start planting this because a kilo is $200. You can go on the internet and check. After 15 years, a whole tree will be how many? It will be 1 ton. You will make money that you cannot make anywhere in the world. Saddlewood is used for pharmaceuticals. It's used in the for perfumes. So these are the things we're now trying to introduce. And me as a leader in CI, I can only give my people the right direction. But the problem is the leadership here in our region. Professor Nyong has been here, Orengo has been here, all these governors have been here, and we're trying to show them, please, roll this thing out to the society. We have coffee seedlings. We have here in the county, we have tree seedlings. Give our people to enrich them and to empower them. One critical thing is the bamboo. We need to protect our rivers. Yala, Zoya, Nyando. The riverbanks are becoming lakes. We need to plant a bamboo on the riverbanks aggressively like they're doing in Uganda so that we can stop the soil erosion and the fish can be reintroduced into our rivers which used to be there. The river salmon, they call it Odado. The Ningu was in the river fishes. We don't have them anymore because fish cannot eat mud. Fish can only eat vegetation along the riverbanks. Like when you fly into Amsterdam, all these European countries, they are protecting their riverbanks. The governments and the county governments should aggressively, or we will not have rivers in the near future. So,
my name is Olaro Tunu from Uganda. We have a very particular and unique situation in Acholi land. Partly the Idi Amin years, but especially most tragically the years of war in the 90s, the 2020 years of war, and some 20 years of people being placed in camps. It has wreaked dramatic havoc on the society. It's completely destroyed the moral order, the sense of identity, the tradition and history, who we are as a people collapsed. And secondly, the material well-being of the people. Acholi land contributed some of the most iconic and eminent East Africans to the world. In terms of education, the professions, leadership, it was disproportionately ahead. But today, it is at the bottom of the ladder in terms of educational performance, in terms of public health, and also is the poorest single community in the country today. So it's been a catastrophic collapse and drop in every way. And this effort called Rocho Pacho, Rocho is when you are seeking something that was vibrant and strong and dynamic and progressive, has collapsed or died, and you are seeking to revive it. You are seeking to give it life again, to resurrect it, to rebuild it, to restore it. That is what we're trying to do in the Rocho Pacho initiative, which is being led by the Chief Justice of Uganda, Honorable Justice Alphonse Chigamoi Owindolo, who wanted very much to be here but couldn't. He'll come back another time, and myself. And we are very eminent compatriots like Justice Ralph Ochan, with whom we have come together. So the reason for coming here is to learn, is to share, is to collaborate. When we are here, we are so much at home because we are Luo just like you. Exactly the same Luo, same ancestry, same history, same heritage, everything, same language. Just the years of separation has introduced some nuances and expressions which are different and varied in our language, but it's the same language, the Luo language. So when we are here, we are very much at home. And when you come over there, you should feel equally at home. Actually, our collaboration should really be part of the backbone of Pan-African collaboration, because our people, the Luo people in Ethiopia, they're in several places in South Sudan, they're in Uganda, they're by the lake in Tanzania, they're in the Congo, the Bunia zone in eastern Congo is all Luo people. So the Luo people are dispersed in large, significant communities across many African countries, and we should use this to rebuild our connectedness and to build Pan-African solidarity. So we're very happy to be here. Thank you so much, Mheshimiwa Sammy Weya, for what you're doing, for the leadership and generosity. And thank you very much, Dr. Odongo, Richard Odongo, for being with us this morning.
We are a delegation from the Central Luo in Uganda. The recent name for us is actually, but we are basically Luo, just like you. The ambassador has talked to you a little bit about the trauma that we went through. I will not repeat it because you heard it, and I'm sure you watch what we went through. And so we reach a point where we believe that we must rise and uplift ourselves on our own. The state will not do much for you if you are not active. I know what you also went through, right from the days of Tomboya, Robert Uko, and so people whom we admired, and we really, really tried to run foreign policy the way Robert did it here. So we came and we saw and we've learned a lot. This place is the research center. This place is not a home. There is so much that we pick here from this home. And now Professor Odongo has added value to what we came to see in practice. But it's given us something which we see every day, but we don't recognize, we don't appreciate. I pay special tribute to him for giving us this insight, which is so sharp, so focused that implementation is not going to be difficult in some of those areas. I thank you.
My name is Dr. Richard Odongo Magwanga, the Head of Extension and Outreach in the Director of Research, Innovation and Extension. On behalf of my Vice Chancellor, Professor Emily Acheng Akuno, we are delighted to be here. It is a great gesture for us to reconnect with our brothers and sisters from Uganda, basically the Luos, even if they have got a new term called Acholi. The role that I play in this particular gathering is to enlighten our community on which kind of agriculture we need to adopt. With the aspect of climate change, if we don't change, the changes will change with us. And at the end of it, will perish all of us. We need to improve the economy. The moment the economy is good, the well-being of the people will be great, and the health standards will be vibrant, and we'll have a healthy working nation. I've enlightened the people here about sericulture. Sericulture is an old kind of agriculture, but basically we need to get back to nature. Now, any kind of sickness, any kind of diseases, we are now moving to solve them from the natural perspective, without which we'll be able to be doomed in this particular world. I've mentioned the value change in the sericulture aspect, where you can be able to do the moriculture, just growing the mulberry has got a unique attribute in terms of enhancing climate adaptability. It has got high level of carbon sequestration. This particular crop can also be just used as vegetables for human being and fodder for the livestock. If you cannot eat it as a vegetable, give it to your livestock and you will get milk or meat from these particular animals that you feed them. The berries that you get from this can also be used for making wine, making juice, making jam, and other myriad products that you can get from this particular plant. I've also enlightened the community about the worms itself, which is the silk. If you have got an acre of the plot, you can be able to sustain 1 million worms, which can be a game changer.
Wabro duoko cash hash. Ko chiew to chiew ine kana duoko miguna cha. O chiew mana Canada.
Go picha makama.
Wadhi chiewo mana e chuny nam.
Sego. Donge maginene marengo kama. Panorama kama. Mana sego.
Kik igonwa picha mar social media boy. Kalo nam ka jukia.
Nyalo bare kore go yako pezeri kwa pondo. Nairobi.
Kelo tugu. Rodh okalo nam ka gikia. Dipo mana ka gida.
Then we have here sausage tree.
Yago.
One called yath, one bishop tree. For propagate mango. Then machawa to propagation mar mulberry. Mambele chakete. Not more propagation mar mulberry. Ndingadi yath. Kizibeda kipidh maonge permit. We also have here coffee. We put 11 and also koro kanye mwatimi as a chica. What you call kaka medicine. You can take this leaf and dry it, then you make a powder, 1 teaspoon in 1 glass hot water. Asubuhi unakuwa mtu mzuri sana kila siku. Katapa
The leaves of this particular plant, I think you have it here.
The mulberry.
Is within the compound, yes. So they're now a bit dry. The leaves is very quick and too bring like now you are the team. Raja has got maybe 1 acre, he has got a quarter acre, you have got a quarter acre. Why can't you say that let's all rear the worms at these compounds. And them, they are planting there. They supply the leaves. And we'll be able to make it to there. So I'll get to the product, but I call it auto. The Turukanas normally pluck those small tiny leaves and they cook it as vegetable. The place is very dry. The mulberry itself can also be used. Thank you so much. The leaves here is a very good vegetable. Very good vegetable. Now, I've gone in to look at the two components of the worm and the water. So you can make money from this plant, or you can make.
Hii babwa pia ni miti kubwa. Hii pia ni Delnis regia, pia ni miti. Unaweza panda kwa boma, alafu naleta tu kivuli. Wakati unajua unaweza kaa chini.